What's up, Bonk? You got a new knife, huh? Well, so did I. And in 3 days, I'll have another one. Oh, that was sad. Oh, I failed twice. Anyway, this is going to be a really short stream. And I mean it this time. I have a video I want to watch, but I figured I need to continue keeping the channel running. Ground Fog, what's up? Well, if you enjoy having that stuff attached to your knife, then I don't see why not. You'll load me up. I get it. The lack of watch hours is not helping the channel. I am not surprised that it was pretty cheap. But what does pretty cheap mean to you? Oh, it's magnetized, you piece of shit. Just gonna go up to 600 because why not? Okay, so we agree that pretty cheap means under 50. So I'll be making a video on the Walmart Ozark Trail, the orange one again, because that video did really well. And I'm kind of curious because the Gen 2 came out and everybody had problems with it. I want to make a video on that. I want to talk about the differences. Hit the like button, freeloader. So where's everybody from? We got some actual people in here for once. It's been a while since I've had a decent stream. All right, time to break off the burr. Canada, ew. Midwest. I don't know if Idaho is considered Midwest. I think it's just West. You know, it'd be nice if this thing stayed focused. You can make fun of the US all you want. I almost feel bad for the Canadians. Almost. The lack of guns. The lack of barbecue. Oh, the lack of barbecue. That's gotta suck. Have you guys heard what's happening in the UK? Please tell me somebody else has heard what's going on in the UK. It is hilarious but sad. Nah, this stream's a normal stream for once. Unfortunately, my channel was in a bit of a lull. It was having issues with getting more people showing up. You were born there? Yeah. Okay, so in the UK, a law was passed. It's called the Child Safety Protection Act or something like that. And it made it so that all porn websites are illegal. And the complaint going around right now, which I can kind of agree with it, it's censorship. And people are saying that it's going against their rights. A lot of people are mad about it. Oh, I guarantee you using a VPN right now is going through the roof. Then there's the question of what VPN company is going to decide to use this to their advantage and either advertise it as such or overcharge for it. No, they don't have constitutional rights. You're correct. Which is that's one of the bigger downsides of living over there. Yeah, you're right. Nord would probably do that. Honestly. All right, baby. How sharp are we now? I've heard the same thing happens in Idaho too. And Texas. I think there's a lot of states that I've heard of that happening on. Gotta suck. Like, of all the websites that you'd want your ID to be on, that's gotta be like the bottom of the list. Let's be real here. Oh, did you just check? Your guys' knife laws suck, though. They did not ban Reddit and Twitter, but to go onto that side, you have to ID verify with Twitter or Reddit or whatever. I don't expect it to last very long. Oh God, this thing's sharp. You got it the first. You got to that amount of XP first. Whoever hit that number in XP last or most recently is in first place. I don't know. I think it's stupid because it never works right. The XP thing, it just never works right. But yeah, I'm sitting there scrolling Twitter, right? Just going through Twitter like you do. And then my Twitter's usually gun content, gun content, gun, knife, gun, knife, or something along those lines. And then the other day, it was just a whole bunch of British people complaining about the fact that all these porn sites are illegal now and that they need to age verify with IDs. And I'm like, what is going on? My whole feed's supposed to be guns, knives, and cars. And then this popped up. I've built my feed to be guns, knives, and cars. Right? And for some reason, the British people take over. It was. I'm sitting there scrolling for a solid 15 minutes, and it's just. What have they done? We can't stand for this. They're all so pissed. I've never seen so many British people so pissed off. It was hilarious. But yeah, I don't expect it to last that long. Well, there's too many people complaining about it, and there's already a petition being put out there to overturn it. Oh god, I got this thing so sharp. You know, a while back I had my whole feed being children falling over. I stopped using Reddit because it just turned into a whole political shit fest. But my whole feed used to be children falling over. You know, like somebody spins them around really fast and then they start running and fall over, or you know, just funny shit. And then it would slowly sneak in a whole bunch of political propaganda. And then now my whole feed is just political propaganda, and it's, oh, I hate it. So I just stopped using Reddit. It's unfortunate, but that's how it went. And what to? You mean what do? You know, I've noticed blade shapes like this pull themselves out of cuts quite a bit. What I mean by that is you'll notice it does that. That's the edge or the blade trying to pull itself out of the cut. Right when the curve really starts going. I don't know. I'm trying to farm watch hours at the moment. The channel isn't doing great. I've talked about this at length in the last few streams. Unfortunately, we've lost viewers, quite a bit of viewers. And I know I don't make the most interesting content in the world. It's a Demco Shark Cub in OS 10. Demco knives. made in, well, this one's not made, it was made in Taiwan, but the company's out of, I'm assuming that, wherever that is. Oh, I love this knife. I got it for half off at a pawn shop. Great knife. They're like 90 bucks. And for AUS 10, it's a little much, but you get a really interesting lock. AUS 10, we can do that. Is my phone dead? It has 8%. %8 left. AUS 10. Is it AUS 10A? It is AUS 10A. Oh, it's basically 440. Oh, you got him, Cody. Yeah, it's 440C. Roughly is what it says. There are differences, enough differences to warrant a separate name, but apparently they're really similar. Added vanadium, added molybdenum, no, less molybdenum, added nickel. It's basically 440C with added vanadium and added nickel. That's it. The notebook's off to the side. So Aiden has sent me, or has bought me a knife. Again. Or has he bought me a knife before? No, I think he just bought me sharpening stuff, which is awesome. So did we do 440C? We did 440B. Okay. My sister gave me a new pen. It's a 0.4 millimeter, which is awesome. I love 0.4 millimeter or 0.5s. So 0.4 should entertain me quite a bit. So yeah, AUS 10 is basically 440C, but with added vanadium and added nickel. And AUS 10A is the annealed version. I didn't know they made anything smaller than 0.5. Honestly, until I saw this thing, I didn't know they made anything smaller. So give me a sec. I gotta look up legally you can't. Oh, Praxis is great. It's a great knife. It's a little big. I've got 4 mini Praxises and just 1 large one. It's a good knife. Now, where were we? Oh, AUS 10. So AUS 10A, what does annealed mean? That's what I was going to ask. Make jokes. Talk more in the comments. The more you talk in the comments, the better the channel does. Annealed mean. Okay, so why would you anneal it if it makes it softer? Oh, it makes it less brittle. Okay. Well, that's what the A stands for. In OS 10A, the A at the very end means annealed. And I was wondering, why would you anneal a steel? And it does make sense, kinda. But then it makes you wonder, was it annealed before working on the blade, or was it... No, it's just slowly, or heating the steel up and then slowly cooling it down so that it prevents cracks and fractures, makes it less brittle. But why? Because you're heat treating a blade. You want it to cool fast, not slow. That's what quenching is. You want it to happen fast. How many do we have? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we'll go with 10. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think. Beautiful. Probably no on the racist joke. Let's try and keep it a little more PG. Or a little more everybody friendly kind of a thing. Oh, I got so much stuff on the table. Give me just a sec to clean up the table, and then we'll start writing down numbers. Okay. Carbon, vanadium, chromium, molybdenum, manganese, nickel, phosphorus, right? Yep. Sulfur, silicon, and iron. Well, to be completely fair, you can be racist against everybody and not be racist because it's equal hate to everybody. That is being completely fair. But you would have to make fun of everybody. Doesn't give you a good look. Let's see. Oh, 95. To 1.1. I do have a Facebook account, yes. Why do you ask? Vanadium, 0.1 to 0.25. Well, then you can't be telling them then. Chromium 13 to 14 and a half. No, this is OS 10A. I'll go ahead and write that down real quick. Gotta let that dry though. They're close. Again, OS 10A has added vanadium and added nickel. That's the biggest difference. This thing. This is the giveaway watch. Anybody curious? We have a giveaway going on Friday. It will be at 8 o'clock Mountain Time. Go check my most recent long form video and it'll tell you how to enter to win. There's 2 knives and a watch. Who makes this? Aichi in Japan. Oh. I'll post a picture of this on Instagram later. I got a really good picture of this on a table at a restaurant today. I lived in 0.1 to 0.3. Manganese is 0.5. Nickel 0.49. Welcome back, Fish Lord. What's up? 0.004. 0.04. Oh, 0.03. 1. And then time for figuring the iron content. So we add up the largest numbers and then subtract them from 100. And that's the lower number. 0.25, 14.5, 0.3, 0.5, 0.49, 0.04, 0.03, 1. Okay, 1821. 81.79%. It should be pretty easy to find. It's my most recent long form video. And I'm pretty sure it says 1,000 subscriber giveaway on the thumbnail. I feel like I did that wrong. 1.1, 0.25, 14.5, 0.3, 0.5, 0.5, 0.03, 0.03, 1. Okay, so I was right. So 1821, 100 minus 18.21, 81.79. Okay. Now we're going to add up the smaller numbers. 0.95, 0.1, 13, 0.1, 0.5, 0.5, 0.03, 0.03, 1, 1621. 83.79. I do not watch any sports. No, I don't find most of them very interesting. 83. Okay. I love how. So here's what I'm reading. OS 10A. Annealed version of this. So click on this. Stain resistant steel, roughly equivalent to this. Okay, click on this. Thanks. Really, really helpful here. It's OS 10A that we're working on, but yeah. Alright, so I guess we have to go based off of what Laren Thomas says. Yeah. It's all 440C. It always has been. All that came to mind was that that astronaut meme. It was great. Alright, Laren, what do you say? Tell us about OS 10A. So it would be under the stainless category. OS 10, where are you? Are you on here? Yeah, I don't see, yeah, they're just doing 440C instead of OS 10. So what would it be? A slightly more tough version of 440C? You'd think anyway. Great, my phone's at 5%. We'll continue the notebook here in a bit. I got to plug the phone in. Let it get up to a point where it could actually be used. Instead of sitting here with a really low. So I may be doing a live stream at my local knife show. There's going to be a knife show here on the 8th. Uh, 440C and 420HC. You got them mixed up. But yeah. So we're also going to do a page on Maximate right here in front of the Rex 121 page. The reason why is because we'll be messing around with Maximate here pretty soon, in a few days. Let's see, we got D2, 14C, $8CR, 440B, which is 9CR, then OS10, 440C. Can somebody tell me what 8CR or 10CR is? What it's equivalent to? Does anybody know? Does anybody else have that app that I was using? I'm assuming nobody else has that app that I was using, unfortunately. It's a great app. It's really, really small. It takes up almost no space. Can someone do me a huge favor and go on to the Play Store on your Google or Android device and download, you go on there and you look up Blade Steel app, and it should be the first one that shows up that's got like a knife with the letters FE on the app. It's really useful for anybody who's interested in knives. Free, you don't have to pay for anything. It's a great, great app. Swirl. Woohoo. It's a really nice swirl right there. You're concerned about what? Them coming up with the same shit and calling it something else? Look at Call of Duty. It's been the same shit for like the last 5 years. Ooh, look at us. We came out with a new version of Warzone. Step steels. Help me, step steel. I'm stuck. Oh, I'm tired. I'm going to be honest, Black Ops 3 was not that bad. Black Ops 2 was great. Like, it was probably the best Call of Duty, but Black Ops 3 was not bad. It's basically Black Ops 2 with different guns and better movement mechanics. I think it's the one, I'm pretty sure it's the one where you have the exoskeleton stuff. Yeah, pretty much. Except my wallet's heavy because it has a whole bunch of business cards in it. Well, sprint, slide, double jump. I think there was also what else was there? I think you could wall run too. It was just like a shittier version of Titanfall. That's what it was. It was a shittier version of Titanfall. I miss Titanfall. That was a really fun game. Well, unfortunately, you can't play Titanfall because I think the servers went offline a few years ago. Now that they no longer support Xbox Live for the 360, you can't play it anymore. I may be wrong, but that was one of my favorite games of all time. Easily in the top 5. Yep. It was online only. That's what sucked about it. Like, it was a great game, but other than it being online only. If they had an offline campaign, oh dude, I would love to play that game all over again. I miss it so much. Well, we've been streaming for about 5 minutes longer than I planned on streaming. We'll go until it hits the hour. Unless like 30 people randomly show up, then we'll stick around, but oh yeah, I know. I know there's a group dedicated to that, and I completely support it, but nobody cares. So the companies don't care. What I'm waiting for is the same thing that they did with the or whatever Nintendo console it was that they did it with, where it's a mod that you can add that makes it so that you can play online for free. Maybe that was the original Xbox or something like that. I'm just waiting for that to happen. I don't want to take this apart again because I've got it exactly how tight I want it to be. And as much as I'd love to show you guys how it works, now if I have a physical copy of a game, a company should not have the right to take it away from me. I'm talking to you, Nintendo, specifically. If it works, yeah, it's going to save hundreds of games that didn't deserve to die. Now, look, I can understand not not supporting them online anymore because it's taking up server space. But maybe it was Advanced Warfare that I played. Advanced Warfare was either Advanced Warfare or Black Ops 3. I don't remember which one it was, but it was basically just a shitty version of Titanfall with zombies, which, you know, it's zombies. Can't be mad about that. Well, that's just mean. Just playing with this one at the moment. It has a light switch. The Switch 2 is a waste of money. $500 gets you probably the most underpowered new console of this generation. It is the worst of the three modern options right now. And the three modern options I'm thinking of are at the moment PlayStation 5, the Rogue Ally Xbox thing, and the Switch 2. Now I'm thinking I'm probably going to sell this knife. There's no way I'm making money on it. The Switch is like a PSP, but bigger. See, I miss when the PSP came out and the DSi was coming out and stuff like that. I miss all that kind of stuff. Sure, the graphics were like dog shit, but, you know, it was fun. Yeah, I think they're like 50. I got it for 25 because it has a broken pocket clip. I gotta reach out to them and see if they'll send me another pocket clip. And I enjoy the knife, it's fun. But it's more left-hand friendly than it is right-hand friendly because of the frame lock design. You gotta hold it in just the right spots. 14C, it's not bad. And if they do send me a new pocket clip, I'll be taking the lanyard off. Dude, for real. You know what I think of when I think of console? Something I hook up to a TV. I don't think of something that, like, somebody could walk into my house, grab, walk away, and then I'm out $500. All remember Pokemon Pearl. That was one of the better games. Diamond and Pearl. I didn't 100% those. I also had a modded version, so. On a Game Boy? I didn't know it was on Game Boy. I played it on the DS. Let's stick some stuff on the table. If anybody has any questions about anything on the table, feel free to ask. I would be happy to answer. What? The king is back. Man, I don't want somebody with sausage fingers on my stream. This one's G10. It'll focus. It is nice. I enjoy it quite a bit. I carried it for a couple months. It's a great knife. I'm selling a larger version of it. It is a lot larger. I think the iridium is the biggest pain in the ass to take apart. I did not enjoy that. However, if you're wanting one, overall it's a pretty decent knife for the price. I have one going up for sale here pretty soon. Yep, the Ontario wrap models are all really, really good. Who was it talking about the iridium? I just saw it a minute ago and then now it's gone. Oh, there it is. I think you meant Kershaw, but if you meant Kesha, then I have no clue. Quinn, what's up? What all did this come with? Oh. Now that's embarrassing. You can focus. Come on now. Thank you. It's also G10 and OS 8. Dude, it is so comfortable. It fits just right and it feels amazing. Genuinely. I think I just dropped the price on it too. I don't remember for sure. But yeah, the Iridium's a great knife for the price. don't want it. I'm not pulling that out. Genuinely, I forgot where I put it. Oh, it's beautiful. Both the Rat 1 and the Rat 2 are just, they fit so perfectly. The jimping isn't very aggressive. I don't know, the house is a disaster. Well, it's not that bad, but it's not in the house, it's somewhere in the garage, and the garage is a disaster. Yeah, so this fits great. The jimping isn't super grippy though. Your finger just, or your thumb just kind of slips across it. This one's more for a choked up hold. The other one is a full grip. The second one from the top is a P108 SF. In 14C. Indeed, big shiny. I need to take pictures. I need to stop being lazy and take pictures of my ZT. Well, I said that earlier. It's got a light switch. It doesn't turn on a light. It locks the lock bar so it can't be closed. So it can't close on your hand. Not super useful, but it's kind of cool. You're in San Diego. No, thank you. I am happy not being in California. Damascus? Depends. Nothing on the table's Damascus. Yet. 2 up where? I don't think the riots are still happening. I have 1 fixed blade, but it is not at the table. 1 fixed blade that I'm happy to own that isn't at the table. It's a Rat 5. What? There's nothing up here with Damascus. This is Stonewash. And the other one is satin. Nope. Scratched up satin. And that one's Stonewash. Or distressed used satin. Sorry, not scratched up. Yeah, it basically looks like the Rambo knife, but 3 times bigger. Just pulled a muscle in my foot. That hurt. That's Damascus. Oh, it's dull as shit. It is easily the dullest knife that I own. Mainly folders. I have one HK knife made by Benchmade. Or is it an HK? I'm pretty sure it's an HK. I don't remember. But yeah, this is going up for sale soon. Now that I finally cleaned all the sand out of it. God, the sound it made when opening and closing was horrible. I've got a couple Spydercos and I've got another one coming up in a few days. Let me grab the Spydercos here in a sec. Just a couple at the moment. I guess this is made by Spyderco, so we could add that too. Well, you have fun almost dying again this week. Would love to hear the next story. And no, I don't know any life insurance agents. So, yep, Civivi does have some pretty affordable Damascus knives. Please, please don't fail. Yes. Really, really nice patterns. I don't remember if they call this raindrop or not. I don't remember what the terms for Damascus patterns are. So we have a Aiden bought and sent a pair of 3. So I'm getting in 3 days, 3 or 4 days, I'm getting a pair of 3 in Maximate that we get to play with. Now, for anybody curious, Maximate is an insane blade steel. Only being dwarfed by 2 materials, really. One of the materials being, the truth does hurt. One of the materials being Rex 121, which we already have written down, and the other one being tungsten carbide. Ceramic might outpace it, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. And I try not to claim things that I don't know, so. Yep, we got a few Spydercos on the table. I mean, Bird is basically Spyderco, just cheaper. It's even got a Lynch Northwest pocket clip. I do not have anything in AEBL right now. I haven't particularly tried to get my hands on it either. It doesn't really come to mind when I think of blade steels. What tends to come to mind more often is S35. I like S35. A what? A Knives Ranch? I'm not sure how I feel about Ranch. You lost your Spyderco? Dude, that sucks. I think I've only lost one knife, but The upside of only losing one knife is, or at my stage, is it's cheap and I forgot what it was. Keeping a consistent angle sharpening. I don't have anything in 80 CRV2. I can't give you a solid opinion. This is up for sale if you're interested. It's in VG10. It's used, but it's got a great edge on it. Now, holding a consistent angle, it's 55. Brand new, they're 90, 99 or something. 55, anywhere in the US, free shipping. Let's see, holding. If you're interested, hit me up on Instagram or on Facebook or something. Back to the consistent edge angle. I don't know. The way I do it is I've practiced for hours. I've been sharpening for probably a good 20 or 30 hours. I try and keep my prices solid. I've got a whole bunch of stuff for sale on Blade Binge. If you go look at the links on my profile, you can find the stuff that I have for sale. I try and keep the prices solid, but you know, not everybody's going to be happy with everything. Once you sharpen for like a good 10 hours and you sharpen good for about 10 hours, you start to feel what feels right, what angle feels right, and you just get used to it. It takes time. That's all it really does, is it takes time. I've got a set angle that I like. I don't know what degree angle it is. I just know that that's where I hold it, and it works. Now, of course, this one will never go up for sale. I bought it after it had been abused. It is completely just mangled. But it didn't have a broken tip. It was just really dull when I bought it, so I resharpened it, and then now I use it. It's a good looking knife. I just don't particularly like the camo, and I don't carry anything with the lightweight scales. Let's go grab the phone so we can finish where we started. %, that's good enough for me. Yeah, unfortunately, stuff like that happens. There's not a whole lot you can do about it, really. It just happens, you know. I'd be pretty mad about it too, I'll be fair there. Now, let's see, we were talking about ABL, I have no clue. Keeping a consistent angle, I talked about that. It's all time and practice. Snowflake, no clue what you meant. Knives Ranch. Yeah, I sharpen live pretty often, actually. I never have a dull knife. That's my biggest problem, is every time that I buy a knife, I sharpen it on stream, and then I don't have anything to sharpen. So every once in a while, I will do a practice sharpening just to keep my skills where they're at. They're not the best sharpening skills, but they're far from the worst. I can get hair popping sharp in 15 minutes. It takes me a while, but I'm not terrible. Let's get some stuff out of the way. This thing's insanely sharp. It is by far the sharpest knife on the table. Love this thing. I need to use it a little more. Make sure that it doesn't develop lock rock like my last one did. Find. True Acolyte, what's up? I will be right back. I gotta go grab a piece of paper so we can test how sharp stuff is. I don't carry for self-defense because I figure I would rather have a gun on me. I'll be right back. Gotta grab a piece of paper. Ooh. A sign. No. That sucks. Yeah, I do feel bad for the people in California. Y'all got stuck with some shit that sucks. Mostly the crappy law side of things. I freehand. Anyway, we'll pull out a knife, we'll dull the shit out of it, and then we'll sharpen it from scratch. Some of you who actually like knives, it will be one of the worst things that you'll watch all day. But it's how you practice. For anybody curious, we're doing it on a cheap knife. It's a mossy oak. So the downside of doing sharpening on cheap knives is it is harder to finish on a cheap knife than it is on a more expensive knife. So it's sharp. We'll grab a piece of paper for testing. Nice and sharp. And then this. Oh, that is the worst feeling. Okay. It is no longer sharp. You can see how flat it is all the way across the whole thing. The light reflects off of the flat. Everything that's flat. And I like to mess around freehand. Yeah. I mean, once you get good at freehand, you can kind of do everything else. So, at the moment, I've been messing around with Atoma. Aiden, who's a common supporter of the channel, has sent me an Atoma 140 grit with the base plate for it. And then later on, he sent me an Atoma 600 plate that you can just glue onto the bottom. So this is a 140-600. Other stuff that I mess around with that's cheaper. Before I got the Atomas, I was playing around with this, and I still use it. Is SATC Premium Diamond Sharpening, whatever. You get this off Amazon for like $22. It's got a 400 grit on the other side and 1,000 on this side. It is a great way to start. That's where I started, other than my 600 grit DMT. But when I really started getting into sharpening, which I haven't gotten too far into the deep end, I started with the SATC. You turd. So don't move your wrist when doing this. I'm lifting my arm from the shoulder. I don't have a best sharpness tester, so I can't tell. That's what the paper's for. And that's why the hair on my arm is gone. A folder with a Scandi grind from Victorinox. Does it use their regular shit steel? Because if it uses their regular stuff, I'm not really happy with that. Lansky stones. Yeah, affordable diamond stones, the SATC is where it's at. Just go onto Amazon and look up SATC 400/1000. And if you want to learn how to sharpen from somebody that's really good at it, go look up Outdoors 55 or Neves Knives. I don't watch him because I don't like his attitude, but he does know what he's doing. Outdoors 55 is a better teacher, seemingly. I don't do the circular stuff because I don't. I've watched all the pros do this, so it's what I do. Okay, so we have a burr, and I can show you guys what that looks like under a microscope. Also, thanks to Aiden. Dude's the biggest supporter of the channel by far, because, well, I don't think anybody else has sent me anything. Not that I'm asking you guys to send me stuff. Please don't, if you can't afford to do so. You know, I don't want you wasting your money on a YouTube channel like I do. Okay. Zoom in. Oh, let's wipe it off. Okay. So if you can see at the very left, there's a wire line at the end of the edge. That is a burr. And then on the other side, it won't show up because it's folded over on the opposite side. So what we're going to try and do, or what we're going to do, is we're going to move up one stone. Now that we've developed a burr on both sides, we passed it over onto the opposite side. And then we move up in grit. You can tell by the sound it would score a good deal. What? I'm sorry, I'm confused. How do you get that knife? You don't want this knife. This knife's garbage. Did you mean the Spyderco? And this is definitely the cheapest hardenable steel possible. Okay, I'll show you where to message me. Give me a sec. I'd just grab the 400 1000. The 400 1000 is a great starting set. So up over here, there should be my profile picture. When you click on my profile shows up. You click on and 4 more links and you'll hit me up on Instagram. I think anybody can send me a message. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure I changed it to where they can. What I'll need from you after payment is an address and a name, because I'm sending through USPS. If you don't put a name, then I can't send it for legal reasons, which is really stupid, but it is what it is. So we've moved up from the 140 to the 600. Oh, yeah. Now, Victorinox uses a specific steel. And the reason why they use the steel that they do is because, in their own words, they want it to last as long as possible. So they give you a steel that is stainless. Okay, we can go through email or Facebook as well. Not sure if anybody can send me, if just anybody can send me messages on Facebook. I'll have to check on that. I don't remember. I don't think I changed that. Or we can go through email. I do have a business email that you can send an email to. That might work better. I just prefer other methods because they're faster. So yeah, if you go through my right here, just email that and I'll send you email back later tonight or something. It's koknivesbusiness1@gmail.com. Yep. Yeah, Victorinox, their whole thing is a knife that will last generations. And what they mean by that is it will never rust. Okay, so now we should have a finer picture under the microscope with finer lines. Okay. Zoom in, light on. Oh, gotta wipe it off. Yep, really, really toothy edge. And you can see the little pieces sticking off. That's part of the burr. Andrew, what's up? And on the other side, is that burr. That's the stuff that's sticking up, is the stuff that we want to take off. Leatherman has, wait, let me double check this. Yep, Leatherman has the best saw. The teeth pointing that way, these things are freaking gnarly and they rip through wood. Leatherman has like the best pocket saw on the market. So now we're moving up from the 600 to a 1000 grit. And then we will move over to stropping, even though in my case it doesn't really do a whole lot. I don't have any compound on my strop. It's just a piece of leather. It has a swedge. Is it? Oh, the saw. No, it's just flat. It's just a flat blade. Or no. It's not flat, but it's not it has a super big hollow grind. Oh, that. I'll check that real quick. I think they are. They are, slightly. Oh, Outdoors 55. He has a great teaching attitude, which is why I like him more than Neves Knives. Neves Knives is still really good, though. Gotta give credit where it's due. And he's the one that recommends this stone. So if he recommends it, I'm going to recommend it. And actually, it's been great to me as well. Okay, we will check it out under the microscope again real quick. Whoa. There we go. Toothy. Okay, the burr's on this side. You can see a tiny flake of steel right there that looks like a hair. Yeah. Outdoors 55 sharpens butter knives to shaving sharp on a brick. He's good at what he does. Not bad. Still got a burr on this side too, though. So we'll take that off. And once we take that off, then we will we'll move towards, or we'll show you guys the what it looks like underneath the microscope. The dude's insane. He's really good at what he does. Now, not everybody does the two-handed sharpening like I do, where you see me swap hands. Most people don't. But I found that I get the best performance of mine when I do this. I'm not sure how to hold an angle when looking. Oh, I'll show you what I mean. I don't know how to hold an angle going in this direction. And I'm not going to sit there and learn how to do it when I can just do it in this direction better. It takes me a little more time because I have to swap hands. But why would you complain when it's easier on you? I wonder if he'd get mad if I showed one of his videos on my stream. Brick. Shit, he's been doing this for over 8 years. Damn. Didn't know he's been doing it that long. Shit. But yeah, just go look up. That's what I do. It's just what I've gotten used to. I don't think anybody I've ever seen sharpens the way I do. It just works for me, so I do it. The burr's almost gone. He does the going like this and this, and I just can't do that. The last time I did it, I royally fucked up an angle. 160 something. It's been a while since I've counted. It's constantly fluctuating. I buy and sell shit all the time. Really? Yeah, I've never met anybody else that sharpens like this. Most of my knives are between the $50 and $100 range. Oh yeah, no, we're all always learning something new. I'm not the best there ever was, by any means. But he's still learning shit too, so. So now I'm just being really gentle. Really, really light passes. And the downside of doing cheap knives like this, I already explained it earlier, the burr never comes off. You will have so much worse of a time sharpening something this cheap than you will sharpening almost any other knife that I have. This is so much easier. It was hard, but it's easier than this. This thing was a dream. I loved sharpening this. Trying to think of other knives that I've sharpened that were just... The cheap steels suck. That's kind of up to you. Whatever you want to buy with your money, you buy with your money. I recommend just starting with this. this is probably the best start that I could have gotten. Once you get one of these, this should set you up for a while. It's a single stone. This side's 1000 grit, and the other side is 400. You start on the 400 and get a burr, then you move on to the 1000. And you don't need a strop, but it doesn't hurt. Okay, it's not catching on my pants anymore. Which means we're going to go over to the strop real quick and try and remove everything that's left. Which, of course, my strop is just a piece of leather. You're supposed to have some sort of stuff on it, but I haven't bought any yet. Which Harbor Freight knife? That's a real question, by the way. Two of the Harbor Freight knives are pretty solid. Big. Give me a sec. Oh, the survival knife? You mean the one that has a compass on the bottom and you can unscrew the bottom of the handle? Yeah, okay. What about it? Like that thing would be a pain to sharpen too. Actually, what steel is it? What is it? 5CR? 5CR isn't the worst. Yeah, there's two knives from Harbor Freight that don't suck. My favorite steel so far that I've played with is 154 cm. It's easy to sharpen, holds an edge decently, and it's decently stainless. It's like the budget version of MagnaCut before MagnaCut was a thing. Fun fact about that stuff, yeah, the Icon knife isn't bad. 154 cm was originally designed to be used in, what are they called? In jet engines for the blades. Or no, just internal components of jet engines. That's what it was originally designed for. Yeah, the other thing about that survival knife from Harbor Freight that people don't think about, the blade is held together onto the handle with a set screw, and that's it. There is nothing holding that blade from falling off. Okay, let's Let's look at this under the microscope again. Dude, I've constantly used this microscope. You create a burr on both sides first, one side at a time. When one side develops a burr, you swap sides, and then you go back and forth until the burr comes off. So very, very tiny burr. But being as cheap as this thing is, I can't be too mad. And the other side, that just looks great. Now, how does it cut paper? Because you guys saw earlier that this thing wouldn't cut paper at all. It has a dull spot. Not horrible, but it has a dull spot. Oh, no. Yeah, it just caught. Yep. That whole knife is a danger to whoever uses it. And the reason I say that is, let's say you're using the spine to cut something because it is a saw. The only thing holding the blade together in what I believe is, it's either an aluminum tube or a stainless tube for a handle. If that set screw comes loose and your blade releases while you're pushing down on the saw, and you pull back and it pulls the blade out, it may come with the handle a little bit and then just go bap and cut your hand open. Overall, it's just a horrible idea. And yes, something about compasses that people don't think about is the reason that they're made in plastic is because if you have any steel around them, it throws it off. So your compass will sit there and lie to you every time that it has steel anywhere within like an inch of it. Well, the whole handle of that, if it's steel, will set that compass to be wrong. So when you need it most, it will fail you. It's the unfortunate part about buying cheaper stuff. I haven't bought any compound yet. It still does stuff. It removes, it pulls the burr off the edge. But it would do a lot better if I had compound on it. I'll be buying some next month when I get my paycheck, so then we can see what 6-micron diamond emulsion does. It should take me to the whole next level on sharpening, because I'm pretty good at sharpening. I'm not great, but I'm pretty good. That's just like the final step of what I need. If it survives, no. Did you know that you have to pay? Like, how do you think Guinness stays around? The Guinness World Record book. How do you think they stay around? You have to pay for every attempt that you make on a world record. And if you don't pay for an attempt, then they just won't put you in the book. You won't hold that world record because you didn't pay for it. You may hold a world record, right? But if you didn't pay to have it put in their book, then you are not considered a world record holder in their eyes. Fun stuff. That's how businesses work. So that took a lot longer to sharpen than I wanted it to, but that's how cheap steels are. And this is about the only knife I have in my box that I don't feel bad about abusing. That's not true. Let's sharpen a Spyderco. Y'all are gonna hate this. Perfectly sharp. It's a perfectly fine knife. Perfectly fine, nice and sharp. Everybody can agree that that was sharp, right? Pieces of paper. So, let me throw away the paper. This is a user. My everyday carry this week, it changes weekly when I actually do reviews, is Sandrin Torino. I'm not sharpening this, by the way. I will not sharpen this. I already know that that thing's a bitch to sharpen. Okay, so we're going to dull this. Everybody, again, already saw. Nice and sharp. Screwdriver. Oh, I hate doing that. Okay, you can all see the edge is flat. There is no sharp section on this at all. Who does? Spyderco? I'll agree with that. It's the same shit every time. Look at me, I have a giant fucking hole in the blade. So we're going to start on the 600 for this one. Because it doesn't need reprofiled. It just needs resharpened. At the edge. Got a burr going on already. Nice. Swap sides. I have no clue how to fix that, genuinely. I think what might be being done is they've come out with some gnarly shit. They have. Just most of the time it's the same thing over and over. I think what may be happening, I don't know if you see what I'm doing, but my wrist doesn't move. I lift my shoulder as I get closer towards me. So what you might not see is well, my EDC changes every week, unfortunately. Let's see if I can do this. Drop the camera lower. Lift it. Maybe you guys can see what I'm talking about. So as I come back, I lift until the very, very tip is done. I don't think... Is Bonk talking? No, Bonk hasn't talked in a while. He carries a pocket cleaver. I tend to carry like anything with a sheep's foot and a blade that's 2.5 to 3.5 inches long. So a pocket cleaver is basically anything with the cleaver type of blade shape that folds. Sheep's foot is my favorite blade shape. They're so easy to sharpen. It's just wonderful to work with. Like this. This thing was great. I loved sharpening this. Everyone has their little bit of a quirk to them, but they're all just fun to sharpen. So now we're going to move on to making it smell like sugar cookies in here. Bonk blocked you? No way. I'm genuinely surprised. Sugar cookie. Candle. No, we're not sponsored by Holiday Memories or whatever that company is. It just smells good. Dude, if I was sponsored by a candle company, how funny that would be. Just a candle named Burnt Steel. And it smells like burnt steel. Yeah, I didn't remember that you could block people on YouTube. I have no point in blocking anybody. When they cause problems, they just get muted. Being in this position with the phone the way it is, it's a little bit harder to move. I don't have as much space as I normally do. I don't know. Instagram is significantly worse. And Reddit is like the epitome of just monsters. Like, Instagram's bad, but oh my god. Reddit is just so much worse. Look at that. Can you see it? If it'll focus for me. Yes, the little iron pieces on the edge. That's the stuff that's coming out of coming off of the knife. Yeah, apparently calling Canadians 51st Stadians, they don't really like that. If I'm doing a full sharpening and starting with reprofiling, I start on the 140. And then I move up to the 400. Normally people skip bigger numbers than I do. But I start on the 140, go up to the 400, 600, and then up to the 1000 because that's all I have. And then I strop. Anyway, I think you guys got the gist of what I do. Now that I have the phone out of the way, I can be a little more comfortable. Well, something to keep in mind is yes, they censor free speech, but it's also a private company. It's not run by the government, and they don't have to let you do anything. As a company, they have a right to prevent you from saying whatever the hell they want you to not say. So, really. Sorry, I'm more excited about parts of Oregon joining Idaho than I am about Canada joining the US. We're getting towards the end. You have not asked the most questions. I've had people ask more, and I'm happy to answer. I did say feel free to ask questions, so you are far from the worst. The east side of Ohio? What? I must have missed a lot more than I thought I did. Unless you meant Oregon and not Ohio. Portlandville. That was good. I like that. New Portland. How about that? You know, Brando, I think that your autocorrect is a pile of shit. You spell out Oregon. Oh, did you mean Ohio? No, I didn't mean Ohio. People talk about Ohio. Oh, some of you guys will notice this if you pay really close attention. Look at this. You see the black spots right here? If I go back and they get more pronounced, that means there's a burr. I'm guaranteed live basically every Friday and Saturday. The live streams actually are about at the same time too. This Friday there's going to be a giveaway. The giveaway is for U.S. residents or people who have a shipping address in the U.S. So to enter that, you're going to go onto my channel. Give me a sec before you actually go onto my channel. So you're going to go to my channel, and what you're going to do is you're going to click on videos, and it's this top video right here that says 1,000 subscriber giveaway entry video. It's pretty obvious what it's for, but that's how you enter. And then watch the whole video. It has all the rules. And then leave a comment. And that's pretty much it. It's a watch and 2 knives. And I didn't just cheap out. It's not a cheap watch either. It's a Citizen Eco Drive BM 7550 87E, I think. It's blue with orange accents. Of course, it's been used. I mean, it's a free watch though. It's a free solar watch, so you really don't have to do anything to it. It just runs. You have to change the date once every 2 months. You know, I don't think anybody should be complaining about getting a free watch. The next giveaway will be at 5,000 subs. Hopefully when YouTube actually starts paying me. On the... I think you meant Spyderco, but we'll just assume that your autocorrect sucks too. Okay. Paper test. We just sharpened this. From so dull that it wouldn't cut paper to unfortunately both my arms are basically bald. Yep. Shaving sharp. And yes, that's from my arm. I have ever-growing bald spots from testing knives. George, what's up? Dude, my channel is not big enough for you to be asking for shoutouts. I'm being honest, dude. And most people pop in when you say hi. I'll say hi to you right back. There's not enough people talking for me to not say hi to everybody, so... Which is always a good thing. You get to talk to the people that are watching. It's nice. Now, we were going to finish another entry in the notebook. And that entry was OS 10A. However, it just keeps on going in roundabout circle bullshit where it says, oh, it's this steel. Oh, it's basically this steel, but with added this. And like, dude, just tell me the properties of this shit. Literally, OS 10A, annealed version of OS 10. OS 10, roughly equivalent to 440C. 440C, high carbon stainless steel. Oh, that's always fun. Oh, we're just talking about how OS 10A is everything, or 440C is everything. What was 10CR? VG10. That's what it was. 10 CRs VG10. So grab the pen and let's look at my shitty handwriting. Ooh, I misspelled it. Where's my paper? There it is. What do you mean, no, no, no? No, we're doing OS 10. We already did OS 8. This is basically OS 8. Eight CR is the same shit. Basically, 440C. Yeah, OS 8 is Japanese. Is who okay? I don't know. Brando's probably sleepy. With added vanadium and nickel. So we'll look up 440C and how it... Unless... Unless chromium. There. It takes a lot of practice to remember all this shit. It really does. There are so many different steels. I want you guys to look at this app that I have. It talks about the most common knife steels. And you can just sit here and scroll forever. Thousands of blade steels. We're not even halfway down the page. There are so many different steels that nobody thinks about. Remembering any of these takes a lot of practice and getting shit wrong constantly. Well, because the app tells you. It says it's an annealed version of this, roughly equivalent to this. That's why you know that they're so similar. Okay, so this actually is an app. It's called, you look up knife steel. Let's open the Play Store and make sure. No, I don't care about introducing play games. Okay. Knife steel. And it's the first one that shows up right here. It's got a knife, the number 26, and FE. And this right here is, it's like a really, really small app. And they constantly update the software in the app. And it just has tons and tons of, it's great. It's great for learning stuff. If you're ever curious about a blade steel and you want to know what this dude thinks about it, or what it's similar to, or stuff like that, then this is where you look. Yeah, I do a lot of research on this kind of shit. It takes forever. Hoping to maybe come up with my own steel one of these days, but honestly, with somebody else that's doing so much better than I ever could, I highly doubt I'm going to. I think I'll stick to the knife designs because Laren Thomas is just killing it out there. Hmm. You have got to be shitting me. Oh, I take knives apart constantly. And I'm really good at it too. One of the knives that one of the knives I'm best at taking apart is the Kershaw Leak. I have 11 of them, all different colors, different yeah, basically just different colors. But a couple different steels. You get used to it when you've taken it apart 50 times. So what was it? Decent. Well, I'll agree if I took apart an LS5 or an LS7 30 times, I'm sure I'd be pretty damn good at it. If I took apart a 1911 12 times, I'm pretty sure I'd remember it after that. High carbon. High carbon steel. High carbon stainless steel used in budget knives. Now, for anybody curious, budget doesn't always mean cheap. Um, That's one of the biggest downsides is budget in this sense means under 100. Should be under 50, but most of the time under 100. And I know $100 is a lot to spend on a knife, but I've spent so much more. You know, when your collection gets as large as mine, it starts costing a lot. Especially when you start realizing that the nicer shit is more expensive. Which I'm just starting to get into the nicer shit. And it gets expensive very, very quickly. The one I'm looking at right now is $475 before tax. Yeah, Gerber overcharges for about everything in the Chinese, of their Chinese made stuff. The US made stuff I haven't really messed with. I just haven't. I'd love to, but honestly, I'm just trying to sell the stuff. I should probably make a video on this knife because it's a Gerber and S30V, but I won't carry it because the scales are too aggressive. And yeah, Gerber typically on their Chinese stuff uses 7CR, and that stuff's just hot garbage. Wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole if I didn't have to. Oh, where was I going with this? Used in budget knives. Now, is it cheap? Or what were we talking about? What are the properties of this stuff? I'll show it here in a sec. I just got to finish this page and then I'll show it. CPM 440C. Okay. 3.5, a 4.5 on edge retention. Not terrible. Compare it to 154. Come on, where's my favorite? There we go. That's what pissed me off last time. That 440C is basically a slightly more stainless version of 154 cm. I believe this one was made in Portland. Oh, it just says made in USA. But yeah, Gerber has a factory in Portland. Decent. For there. Man, you're a turd. You know I hate half serrations, and you know that I hate Tontos. This dude acts like I'm a monster. It's in the bottom of my Grail box, so This one. Oh, the strong arm. I thought you were talking about my most expensive knife. I'm sitting there like, dude, you're naming all the shit that I hate right now. Just popping off with literally everything that I hate. Tontos, partially serrated, 440. Anyway, this is a Kershaw Junkyard Dog 2. Can I open it with the flipper tab? Yes. In SG2. The top blade steel. So it has two blade steels. This top blade steel is 13C26. And the bottom steel is SG2. It's in titanium. It's a titanium frame lock with no lock bar insert. And the last one of these that sold on Arizona Custom Knives sold for $450. There are only 1,000 of those. And they were all made in, I believe, 2007. I have a chance to buy a second one, but at the moment I can't afford to do so. I'm trying to save up for other stuff. Brando, I can't tell how far behind you are. If you tap on the screen and then down here in this corner it'll say skip to live. If you're far enough back. This needs sharpened. The bane of my existence. That didn't do shit. I will not sharpen this. I refuse to sharpen Tontos. If anybody wants that thing, I will happily sell it to you. It's an HK knife made by Benchmade in 2009. Back when Benchmade had a Chinese plant, Chinese factory or whatever. You're good? Yeah, figured. Oh, but it has to be sharp for me to sell it. I hate Tontos so much. And so our story begins with a 400 grit stone and some dude that's pissed off at a knife. Will he get his knife sharp? Will he give up and throw it across the room? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Or something like that. I'm making it worse. I give up. I will not throw it across the room, but I'm imagining myself doing so. Across the room, there's a giant window, so I'm not throwing it across the room. I just want everybody to know that I considered it. Dude, I'm going to do a video on the second gen. I've had one since the second gen came out, and I still haven't opened it. I just never got to opening it. Now let's see. What else should we do? The only reason I'm still live streaming is because we got almost 20 people in here. I would have given up like an hour ago. The streams just haven't been going the way that they used to. And if they keep on at this pace, I will gladly stream more often. $6. It really makes you question if it's worth it at that point. You fell asleep? Bonk, did you block Brando? Ooh, we got some spicy drama. Nope, didn't think so. I told you he just fell asleep. Yeah, I literally told you that he probably fell asleep. It's like 2 in the morning for me. For everybody else, it's way later. Earlier? No, later. Later. He thought you blocked him. I'm like, dude, I haven't seen him talk in half hour. Okay, yeah. So you're in the Idaho part of Canada, or what's about to be New Idaho or Greater Idaho. Well, then go back to sleep. Stop watching my stream and go back to sleep. Yeah, you're north of Idaho. North of Idaho, and fine. Well, let's find out where the hell that is. Well, it's nice to see more people from Idaho. I think you're one of the first people I've seen on a map. Yeah, he was here at the start of the stream. People still think you're a chick, by the way. Am I surprised? No, but Oh, I'm in Boise. The fuck? The fuck are you doing across the whole... What girl isn't toxic? Let's be honest here. It's 152 and you're all the way over there? No, that's not right. You're in Alberta, right? At least. Yeah, sorry. When I looked that place up, it pointed me in Ontario over here. And I'm like, that doesn't line up with mountain time at all. Over here does, where Idaho's at. Above North Dakota is Saskatchewan and Manitoba. I'm probably pronouncing them wrong, but I really don't care. Oh, thanks. I clicked on Canada and it says Canada. That's wonderful. Thank you. I never would have guessed. Oh, okay. Well, Calgary's on the map. It's literally right there, and Idaho's right here. Okay, yeah. Which is north of Montana. Okay. Ah. So what do we do now? I have nothing to sharpen. We can take shit apart. Dude, I always forget that I can take shit apart. I'm going to show you guys a weird one. Now, I don't like taking this thing apart all the way, but you guys have to see how this thing works. It is so weird. So you got to be careful because there's a spring in here, and if that spring goes flying, you will never find it. It is tiny. It's not quite watchwork or watchmaking tiny, but it is small for knives, for in a knife. Yeah, you missed 2 sharpenings. So I think, yeah, you want it closed when you do this. Okay. So drop the screws. Come out. You stupid screw. Thank you. Put them over here so that we don't lose them. Okay. So now we're going to take this plate off. Okay. Just so I remember. And then we'll remove the spring. Harbor Freight. Okay, so here's the spring that keeps this whole thing working. Do you mean the little star? It's not going to show up under the... They're called Torx. If you look up Torx, So one thing I've noticed about this is that there's surface rust that shows up. And that's not great. Anyway, what happens with this is this sits here like this. The spring sits in here and holds it going, holds it going this direction, I think. Oh, I had it backwards. Okay, so here we go. So basically what happens is you pull this thing down and it locks the things in place. And then if you push the thing over, pull it up, and it unlocks the things holding this whole knife together. Push down, it locks it in place, and the spring pushes it over in this direction to keep it there. So we're going to put the spring back in. There we go. Then we're going to put the whole assembly back into the knife. Oh, I guess I can put the spring in later. There. And just pray. I'm not a religious guy, but you hope and pray that everything stays in place. OFC is, of course. Then go to sleep, dude. Nobody's forcing you to stay up. All I'm doing is farming watch hours. And it's working great so far. I thank you guys so much for watching. I don't want to. Yeah. I want to be tired when I wake up tomorrow. Well, that was easy. It's the easiest knife to take apart. It really is. There. I can get monetized now. My problem being tax forms. That's the biggest problem. The monetization I can do at the moment is I can do memberships and super chats, which is basically just memberships and donations. The reason I haven't done that yet at the moment, and I've brought it up before, somebody said that if I want to spend my money how I want to spend it, then let me spend it that way. And I'm like, that's great, but I'd much rather you guys buy a knife from me. You're right, I don't have fart toys. But I'd much rather you guys buy a knife from me so you get something out of it instead of just me saying thank you for the dollar or something, you know? The downside of that being a knife is more expensive than a donation. Well, Bonk, you know where you can send pictures of stuff, and I'd be more than happy to look at it. Something's not clean in here. Let's try tiny, little bit. Or you're looking for what? Anyway, I was talking about the donation thing. I don't like when people donate because I don't feel like they get anything out of it. Not that everything has to be transactional, but I feel like if you're giving me money, you should get something in return other than just what everybody else gets. Kind of like Aiden, he spent so much money on the channel. I talk to him all the time. I do. I'd just much rather that people get something out of their money. So now what do we do? Nameless, you should probably... What day is it? Tuesday? You should probably go to sleep. You probably have work in the morning, don't you? You're probably not supposed to be awake right now. But yeah, I'll tell you, it's really nice finding somebody from Idaho, finally. Because I've been doing this YouTube stuff for 2.5 years. And I think you're the first person I've seen that's from Idaho. I think I averaged around 2 when I was in high school. You can't DM me. Since when? Yep, I was born and raised in Boise. I've watched it go to shit, unfortunately, over the years, and it's turned into the monstrous cesspool that it is now. Not very happy with our mayor at the moment. Surprised she even won the election, but that's how it is. Tucson, Arizona. I've been down there. Fucking hot. I do have message requests on for everybody. So it's lying. But you know, you can also just send it on YouTube, right? You know what I miss? That it never took off, but I do remember it for like the week that it happened. Okay, so you can go to the visit community section and you can upload pictures here and stuff. Like Willie, he's uploaded some pictures of knife drawings that he's done I uploaded that I hit 3,000 watch hours. I don't think tagging me worked last time. Yeah, Tucson fucking sucked when I was there. I was there in the middle of summer in 2022, and it was 117 almost every day that I was there for the whole month. It sucked. Instagram. I'd like to say I'd never go back, but I probably would. My AC in my truck was working overtime the whole time I was there. Yep, I don't see that I've been tagged. Yeah, dude, I was there in probably in August in 2022. It was a freaking nightmare the whole time. My sweet spot is what was my sweet spot? 75 or so degrees. And yeah, it was literally 100 degrees by 10 a.m. Like the sun comes out and it's like a fucking oven the whole time. And then it rained once in that month that I was there. I've never seen rain like that before. Everybody else is pulled over on the road and I'm sitting there like I have to go pick up my guys. They're walking around door to door. I can't just let them sit out there in this shit. So I picked up all my guys and we were doing dude, it was wild. 5 minutes and the road was just flooded and I'm sitting there going like 30 because I got to go pick up my guys. Everybody else is pulled over. But you know, if I wouldn't have gone and got them, then you know, they would have been pissed off at me. But I wouldn't have wanted to be left in the rain either. Oh yeah. No, I think I've seen you on they don't know how to drive in weather. Like, dude, grow the fuck up, keep driving. Make sure that you have your driving lights on. That's all you need to know. Look, if I can see 10 feet in front of me, I'm fine. Okay, yeah, so I saw you followed me on Instagram with this new account. That is literally what it does. Dude, shit floods and like it sprinkles, it dumps, it floods streets. And then 5 minutes later it's just gone. There's no clouds, nothing. It's all gone. And of course, it's back to being 117 right after that happens. I'm assuming KP is you. Because that is the same picture that's your profile picture. Yeah, I saw that picture the other day. You didn't tag me with it, but I did see it the other day. Yeah, during the winter here, people keep driving because we have places to be. Because we're not little bitches. Except for the people from California. They cower. They pull over. Like, what do you think it's going to happen? Do you think it's just going to stop? This is Idaho. Our weather's bipolar. You don't know what the fuck you're going to get. Idaho and North Dakota both get cold, but North Dakota gets significantly colder. I think your guys' record is like -70. Our record's -25 or something. Nameless, I got a question for you. Were you in Idaho during Snowmageddon? I remember that shit. We don't get tornadoes here. We get 6 tornadoes, 3 to 6 tornadoes yearly, and they're all EF1s or EF2s. Dude, Snowmageddon was a fucking nightmare. Like 1-story houses were completely covered. We had houses. I think there were places in Idaho that got 11 to 12 feet of snow. For you weirdos, let's see what 11 to 12 feet is. It's like almost 4 meters of snow. Yeah, 12 feet is basically 4 meters. So, yeah, here in Boise, or not in Boise, in Eagle, I think there were a few houses that hit 12 feet, and there were people to leave their house. They had to go to the second floor and leave out of doors on the second floor. It was bad. It was the worst snow we've ever had. And it stayed for the whole, like, when did it go away? We still had snow in June. Yeah, we still had snow in June. Go ahead, see if there's videos of Snowmageddon. It was bad. Oh. Let's see. It wasn't 2010. Snowmageddon, Idaho. 2017, that sounds about right. 2016, 2017. Says 39 inches. Bullshit. Dude, the front of our house, we had 4 feet. 4 to 5 feet. So that's 1.6 meters of snow. That was at our house. Yeah. It was so bad that we declared a state of emergency. The National Guard was called upon to assist with snow removal. buildings collapsed in Oregon, and it caused flooding in the Boise River. God, I remember it like it was yesterday. And guess what? We didn't miss a day of school. That's the best part. We still went to school. That's insane. But I swear, there was one place in, God, where was it? Like, there were videos of people walking out the second story of their house to leave. You know what I remember? I remember that one snowstorm that Texas got. It was really, really mild compared to everything that we get. It was nothing. And there was a 100 car pileup in like a half inch to an inch of snow on the freeway. It was like 107 cars. It's the worst pileup I've ever heard of. Let's look up Texas snow pileup. 2021. 130 vehicles. Yeah, that was 2021. Look at this shit. Look at all that. Just piles of cars. That is just stupid. Like, I genuinely think they got like an inch. And that was it. Don't get me wrong, it was snowy out, and how do you explain that? It's hard to see in the snow. It's hard to see when it's snowing and it was foggy or whatever. But if it's foggy and it's snowing, don't go fast. I know. Super shocking. Nobody's ever thought of this. But if you can't see shit, don't go fast. Like, these dudes are still going freeway speeds. In the videos, you can watch semi trucks hitting cars at freeway speeds because they were going freeway speeds. How dumb do you have to be to go that fast in the weather that you're not used to? I swear, guys, just think before you do things, please. I know not everybody does, but you don't have to be everybody. You can have a brain. It's okay to have a brain. Now let's pull some knives to look at. I don't know. I remember because they got snow, and Texas houses don't have heating, by the way. And the reason why is because it doesn't snow there. So they don't have coats, they don't have jackets, and they don't have heating. So one of the things that happened to almost every house down there was the pipes froze. Because people didn't have heating, what they'd do is they'd turn their gas stove on, and they'd leave it running, and multiple people suffocated and died throughout the night. It's sad, but they didn't even think about, oh, well, this is burning a fuel. Maybe that fuel will burn and create some sort of gas that isn't breathable. I'm not trying to be mean, but it's just something that I would think about. That is like one of the worst ways of dying, by the way. Suffocating, no thank you. I will happily take getting hit by a semi truck over that. Sharp knife. Now, what do we do now? Oh, I was going to write a page on Maximate because we're getting Aiden sent a pair of 3 in Maximate. So let's write a page on that. Yeah, exactly. That's what was happening to everybody. It was bad. Probably, or they were probably, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they were sleeping with it on and they just died in their sleep. It's just suffocating to me is one of the worst ways of dying. Especially with someone like me who knows what they act like when they're suffocating or when they are deprived of oxygen. I would hate to know that that's happening and be able to do nothing about it. I'd rather be cold than suffocate, I'll be honest. Let's see. Maximate. Maximate Micromelt by Carpenter. The fuck is this shit? Yeah, let's just casually have 13% tungsten in this shit. Yeah, and you wonder why it lasts forever. Let's go to the end, the very, very second to last page. And it sits at 67 to 69 HRC. Damn. I don't make my own knives. I tend to buy knives and then I do reviews on them. That's most of the channel. Teach people how to maintain their knives and take them apart and clean them. How am I going to make that flat? Gum box to the rescue? Maybe. Hey, that doesn't look too bad. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's see here. I'll admit it's not very often that you find people from Idaho. Or in Idaho at least. There's 2 million people in Idaho. And I think you're the first person that I've seen in Idaho. Other than, oh, what's the dude's name? Damn it, he makes pretty decent content too. Maximate and 67 to 69. So let's see how many materials. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. 8. So we'll do 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What? ND. Oh, yeah. Well, everybody moved from California. Like they sold their nice California house and moved here. It is hard to find people from Idaho for some reason. I don't know why. Apparently Idaho residents don't think that YouTube's all that important. No, most of them moved here before the fires happened. Or before the big fires happened anyway. California doesn't do any fire management or forest management because the tree huggers are too worried about hurting the trees. But what they don't seem to understand is that when you don't do any forest maintenance, the fires get as big as they do always in California. And not only does it kill the trees, but it kills people. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me either. Idaho, it's not. It's illegal, or is it? Oh, yeah. Okay. Now I get where you're going with that. Dude, California has way too many freaking people. The last census that was taken, it had like 38 million or something. Like, how do you even maintain that? And the government doesn't care about the people. S. And then FE. Okay. No, I was thinking more of bomb the San Andreas fault line and then just let it sink. Carbon 2.2. Holy shit. 13% tungsten. Oh my god. 6% vanadium. 4.75% chromium. I could agree with that. We could let the West Coast disappear. Oh no. Where will our movies come from now? 10% cobalt. What the fuck is this shit? 0.3. Not surprised. 0.07. 007. Haha. 0.25. No, we're keeping Florida. Where else am I supposed to get my crazy news? Florida man eats other man's face. That's just iconic right there. Wonder if that dude's still alive. The dude that ate the face isn't, but I'm wondering if the other dude is. Calculator, help me. 100 minus 2.15, 13, 6, 4.75, 10, 0.3, 0.07, 0.25. 63.48%. Or 63, yeah, 0.48%. God, they're just so religious in Utah. Like, leave me alone. 63. That is very low for a steel. Like, very, very low in iron. Yet Rex 121 is even lower. Higher tungsten, but less vanadium. All right, so what did we write about Rex 121? Because we're writing something similar. So it's a high-speed tool steel. Kershaw tried to make a folder out of it. However, it proved too difficult to grind the steel at 60 plus. The blades had warping issues. If heat treated after grinding, Spyderco did produce several folders using Maximate. The list includes Manix 2, Para 2, and 3, Mule, and possibly more. As earlier forum posts indicate, Spyderco has also encountered some issues when introducing knives out of Maximate. However, they were quite successful in resolving those issues. Well, Idaho doesn't even have an NFL team. So is it percentage by... It is percentage by weight. Never been. Okay. Well, I wish you guys luck over there. Dealing with a fire isn't fun. I would know. It sucks. So when did Maximate come out? So Maximate came out in 2000, and it started really being used in the knife world in 2014. So we're going to write the name of the steel. Made by Carpenter. And it is a micro melt steel. Not that that changes anything to me. Carpenter. Alright, well, you have fun with that. I'm going to finish this page and then probably end the stream because we've been streaming for 3 hours. And it's almost 3 a.m. You know, I planned on this stream being like a half hour and then going and finishing a video and then going to bed. And the reason why I planned it like that was because the streams haven't been doing well. Well, this stream did really well, and I did in fact do what the stream name was named. I got quite a bit of watch hours, so we'll see how that goes. So what did we write about Rex 121? Highest edge retention steel, agreed. So high that if it was placed as a 10, it would skew the scale so far that only 11 steels would be rated above a 5 on the Knife Steel Nerds website. At the time of writing, it is also one of the most brittle steels, being a 1 on the scale, designed to be used in high-speed and high-temp applications such as end mills and wear parts. So what was Maximate designed for? Well, Maximate is also a high-speed tool steel. Okay. Well, you go ahead and go to bed. We'll see you later. Trying to pop my back, but it's not going to happen. Let's read into it a little bit more so I know exactly what I want to write. Of course. Maximate? Yeah, that's the name of the steel. Welcome back, Bonk. Well, let's see what most are sitting at around, because we do have a few other steels in the book, but it is very low. 84.5 roughly. Oh, we forgot D2. 83.5 to 85, 84.5, 82 to 83, 78 to 80. So yeah, it seems like in the 80s is pretty usual. Rex 121 is below 60 in all configurations, and Maximate is 63.5 roughly. It's percentage. This is the percentage of by weight of elements in this steel. But yeah, most are sitting in the 80% range. The really high, it's basically just ingredients to make the steel. The very high, what's it called? Highly specified steels, like high speed steels and ball bearing steels. They have high wear steels, let's put it that way. Things that are supposed to be used in high speed tooling, stuff like that, have very low amounts of iron and very high amounts of tungsten and vanadium. Really interesting stuff. Holy shit. I've never heard of T1 before. Oh, okay. Hmm. The secret formula. Yes. No, not camshafts and crankshafts. Those need to be tough. Those need to have toughness. They can't be made of high speed steels. Too brittle. So where were we going to go with this? Second highest edge retention. Let's look on his website and do. So yeah, Maximate is second. What did I write on the other one? Second highest, okay. EB, yes. Obviously, I'm tired. We'll see you later. I think anything higher than, let's see, Rex 121 cuts glass. Tungsten carbide cuts glass. I'm not sure if Maximate cuts glass, though. I don't think it's carbide content, or maybe it is. Because the carbide, yeah, it might be carbide content. It's 22% carbides. Roughly. It looks more like 23. No. Cobalt isn't a carbide. These two are, though. So yeah, almost 22% carbides. It's got 13%. And it has more than Rex 121. At time of writing. You've never heard of Maximate until now? That shit came. Oh no, that was after Rex 121. It's not a commonly used steel. It's hard to work with. I've talked to people about who make custom knives out of this. Not this, but Rex 121. Pretty similar though. Where they say when you're making a knife out of this stuff, you can't worry about how many sanding belts you go through. You go through them too fast to worry about it. You have to include in the cost the fact that you're going to lose like 5 or 6 belts before it's down to the shape that you want it to be. The stuff is gnarly to work with. Let's see a little bit more about it. It's not stainless, so we gotta skip to the high speed. Maximate 2 on hard or on toughness. Yeah. Yep. So I'll have Maximate on my channel. I don't do the same tests that he does. I cut a lot faster than he does, unfortunately. And I don't have enough cardboard to do what he does. I probably could if I wanted to. Just go out and talk to a company about taking boxes that they don't use. I don't know. Poor toughness. And 600. There's no point in going past 600. What's S110V? A 3 on toughness. Yeah. When I do D2, I go up to 600. Sometimes I'll go past, but it doesn't really benefit you. It's almost pointless to go past 600. Hmm. I need to get some K390 one of these days. That looks interesting. It's not stainless though. Not that that's a huge deal. I'll be messing with Maximate, and it's not stainless either, so moderate stainless properties. We're writing down stuff about different knife steels. It prefers toothy edges, yeah. It doesn't like high grit edges because D2 has large carbide pieces. And when you're sharpening on the higher grits, the higher grit diamond pieces will just rip out the carbides. You'll be left with giant chips in the edge, and it's just not worth it. Known for being notoriously hard to work with when heat treated above 60. So let's see. Known for being notoriously hard to work with when heat treated above 60 HRC. And known for warping. So it's known for warping when you're shaping it after, or when you're shaping it before heat treat, and then you heat treat it, then it warps. It's known for that. So it's kind of really just a pain in the ass to work with, which is fun. So let's see. So let's see. Known for being notoriously hard to work with when heat treated above 60. However, if shaped and then heat treated, for warping. And cracking. Second highest edge retention at time of writing. Scored an 11 out of 10 on the scale for the same reason as Rex 121. Poor toughness and moderate stainless properties. Known for being notoriously hard to work with when heat treated above 60. However, if shaped and then heat treated, is known for warping and cracking. So let's see. Is it APP for applications? I probably have it written down. Yep, APP. Great. Designed in 2000 to be used in high-speed applications. Such as end mills. In 2014. All right, app, help me out here. Used in 2014 for the ZT 888. We'll see you later, Brando. Have a good one. ZT 888 Max. Shit. It was DLC coded too. That shit's wild. Dude, and it sold for $1,500 in 2018. No way. Shady's back. Tell a friend. First used for knives in 2014 by CT. Was it 0888 Max Capital? Yep. AX. There we go. Finally finished the page. Took me forever. I don't know why people listen to Machine Gun Kelly. He's a turd. So let's see, we got D2 by Firth Sterling, 14C by Sandvik, 8CR by Ahonest, 440B by Asai, OS 10 by Aichi, and then we got Maximate by Carpenter, and Rex 121 by Crucible. Got a lot of different steels in this. We got options for 180 steels. Or even more if I decide to do the back pages too. I don't know where my phone's at. 100%? Hell yeah. Oh, well, we've been streaming for 3 hours and 45 minutes. I think I'm going to end it here. Appreciate you guys watching and sticking around. Somehow we got 22 likes, which is awesome. But hopefully you guys have a great rest of your morning, night, whatever it is. We'll see you later, and have a good one.